confidence. It's all about confidence. Believe in what you're doing as an individual and as a team, and then plan. I think when you get out there, you want to be a difference maker, and you want the puck. I feel that when we're at our best, Game 5 is everybody wanted something, like whether it to be a support guy or whether it be the guy backing somebody, you could tell. And I think we got to get to that attitude, especially in Game 7. But you can't play, there's the word desperation, everybody uses it Game 7. Desperation is just not running around and panicking. Desperation is there's certain spots you got to be in. There's some plays that you got to make under desperation. There's plays that you got to have to get the puck out. That's desperation to me. So that's kind of the message.
You've talked about being a feel guy. Do you get the sense that this group is in the right mindset and ready to go and wants it?
Yeah, I've talked to a few guys. Z's joking around. A lot of guys are, very confident, joking around. It's a loose group. But also there's some guys that, you can tell that, that's why it's important that you get to them, talk to them, and make them understand it's, you've done it all year, and just, replay those good things in your head. That's really what it comes down to, visualization.
Edmonton's best players were their best last night. I'm not sure if you received any texts from your guys, but no. Do you get what did you think of your best players last night, and what kind of response you're expecting from them? Yeah,
a couple of guys look tired. They've done it all year. They've responded. I think McDavid and Draisaitl, they've been tired in this series too. And I think we're going to get some good energy. I think those guys will be fine tomorrow. But the other guys have got to help out too. But I think it's just, to me, it's a team energy thing for me. We need really good energy from everybody tomorrow.
You spend a lot of time on film and potentially making adjustments. When you want to put last night behind you and momentum generally doesn't carry over, are you going to bother with any of that now?
Yeah, to me, it's maybe a couple of things that we can get better, but it wasn't. It's got nothing to do with X and O's last game, and they know it. It's maybe a couple of things in the neutrals and we tinkered with, but it really comes down to it's Game 7. We've seen enough video. We've seen this team 7 straight games. Well, it's going to be 7 straight games. It's not X and O's. They know what we know how they want to play. They know how we want to play, and it's really comes to execution.
Rick, when we talk to Arturs, he's calm, he's confident. For a young goaltender to be like that going into a Game 7, just can you speak on what it's like for the room to know that, he's a young kid, but the way he acts, it doesn't act like the moment's too big for him?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, same thing. You're in. You're playing a playoff game, so he dealt with it then. So there's no different. Game 7, same thing, same bright lights, same pressure, and he's dealt with it. He's had a crash course. He did it last summer, so he's dialed in.
Is this a time for the coaching staff with all their experience in these type of games? Is this where you guys step up a little bit more to talk to the players, or is this just kind of same?
Yeah, not too much though. I find if you too much information, too much, I think it tenses guys. Less is more, but the less that we give them has got to be obviously some smart stuff. Don't get me wrong, but this isn't the time to be hovering over guys. That's how I feel.
Rick, you've played with and coached a lot of great centers, especially this time of year. When you first met JT, you saw a lot of yourself in him. Can you think of a better guy to go up against Connor tomorrow night with the intangibles that JT brings and how much he embraces that challenge?
Yeah, he loves challenges, but it's not, I get what you're saying, but it's not a JT against Connor thing. It's a Canucks against Edmonton Oilers. Millsy's not going to go out there and just be a one-man show and shut him down. We have certain things we do in a system-wise that, we need him to be in certain, but our layers got to help. And I think that's really what it comes down to, and I think the perfect example is Game 5. Just, we got to play that style, but with that determination.
You remember as a player when you were traded from Philly to Pitt and they won in '92 and Scotty was coaching.
Yeah.
Take anything from that? Because you guys just roll over everybody. Was he an influence? Was he loud? Was he quiet? What was Scotty like in terms of influencing the group?
No, he wasn't. I thought he was a genius behind the bench. He just knew the matchups, who to put out there at a certain time. That's where he was really smart. And he would pick a weakness of the other team. He wouldn't, he didn't give you a lot of information on the team, but he gave you one thing weakness to attack. But he was, like I said, his bench management skills were incredible for me.
Rick, you had the 3 guys that weren't out there, Miller, Besser, and Myers. was that an optional scam? Just clarification on sort of your approach today. Was that optional, or do you just tell guys do whatever it is in their best interest to be ready for tomorrow night?
I mean, it's a little bit of a communication with some guys, but for those guys, especially those guys, I wanted, they needed the maintenance day. Definitely.
And last night at the podium after the game, you started to look ahead to Game 7, and you said you want guys to have that sort of be the hero mentality. Can you just expand on that a little bit? I mean, obviously you don't want guys to go rogue and try to go through the team, but...
Well, hero to me, and if we preach the crest, that's the Vancouver, it's not individualism around here. And a hero to me is, it could be as simple as getting that puck out at a certain time. Like, I know it sounds funny, it's a good change. It's a block shot. It's not, everybody's looking at hero thinks who scores the goal. I look at different aspects of it. And the players know what I mean. That's the heroes that I need. Our staples, if you do your staples correctly as a player, to me, you're a hero. It's not about who's going to score the next, who's going to score that goal. I mean, yeah, of course, the guy whoever scores the winning goal is the guy per se, but it's the crest. And that to me, that's what a hero is.
Rick, so you've been to Game 7s as a player, as an associate coach, but this is your first time in a Game 7 situation as a head coach. So how do you approach this this situation as the head coach of the Canucks?
Well, it's I can't change too much. I mean, just because it's Game 7, you don't change. I'm not a believer in that. Even as a player, you are who you are. Obviously, the stakes are high. I get all that stuff, but I can't all of a sudden try to coach different. Like I'm going to do something out of this world. I got to coach who I am. But also, it's like anybody. You got to be on your toes. You got to be really clear, focused and clearly, think clearly as the game goes on.
And the temperature in the series has started to rise. We saw it at the end of Game 6. So what type of conversation do you have to have, whether it's before the game or even during the game on the bench with your players, and remind them, keep calm, and not maybe take that extra cross-check or that extra hit that might result in a penalty?
Yeah, you got to take it. I mean, more. We preach all the time. You got to take a punch in the mouth, whatever it takes. And if the ref doesn't call it, they don't call it. You get up, and you get back in the play. Don't be sitting on your knee and looking at the ref. That's not the right time to do that stuff. I don't think you should do it anyways. But discipline is a huge factor in the way you play the game. Your coverages, the way you're counting the teammate, and also in a scrum. You want to hold your ground. You want to protect your goalie. You also want to get on top of their goalie. But, to me, a cross-check on the head or something like that is not the right way to approach this game. That's not toughness to me. But digging in is toughness. A good hit is toughness. Not accepting a box out is toughness. Getting the puck out on the wall is tough. That's, to me, is toughness.
Has there been any correlation in your mind between the more physical team each night and the winning team each night?
To me, it's the team that's been second quick. Edmonton wanted the puck a little bit more than us last game as the second quick. I thought we were way better in Game 5. When the puck was available, we were striding into it. I thought we were straight-legged into it, and I think that was the difference. It was a 1-1 game. They got that goal, and I felt for whatever reason we put us on our heels, and even our neutral zone, we started backing off again. Not quite sure why we did that, but we corrected it in the other game, and it worked. So we talked about it today. We practiced a little bit about it, but we'll see what happens tomorrow.
In your Game 7 experience, does just the energy of the moment tend to increase the physicality in the game, and how do you think you guys will fare with that?
Yeah, most guys now, I mean, well, it happens. You should happen in every game, but will not turn down a check. Like I said, usually, like I thought Draisaitl was more physical than I've ever seen him last game, and that's good though. I mean, we got to be physical against him, and we got to do it again and again. It's just, it's a team that's willing to do the sustainability in a game. You just don't do it once. You just got to continue to do it, and then hopefully it will pay off if you do it.
You had Lindy back together with Garz and Dakota. Is that something you're looking at tomorrow? And if so, why the change back?
I like that line. I think we're at home. A little matchup here or there. Whether I stick with it, I'm not quite sure. I'll talk to the coaches, but just some things that might help us.
Connected to Game 7, but kind of a bit of a tangent. Last night on the broadcast, they had mixtape during the intermission about all the embellishment happening in this series by both teams. You have been really outspoken. You don't complain about refs, you complain about embellishment. Have you talked to your players about it?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah. I think what happens when if somebody embellish, I don't care either team, and they get a penalty, then the next guy's going to try it. So I think that's really what happens. It becomes contagious. But I don't think it's been a problem this series. Might be a couple of guys in both teams have done it, but I don't think it's been a problem at all.
Last one for me. Quinn's played a lot of minutes. Played again a lot of minutes last night, defending a lot. Where are you at with his energy level right now, and just kind of what you're getting from him?
Yeah, he's still got energy. I mean, the guy can skate all day. I'm not worried about him. But you are right about we defended a lot because our execution with the puck was not good. So anytime we did get it out, we were tired, we had to change. And they would get it, and then they dumped the puck a lot. So really, if we can execute and hold on to pucks, it's going to help out guys like Hughes or guys that play big minutes. If you have to defend all game, I don't care who you are. It's a tough night.
Last one.
Is Ilya Mikheyev healthy enough to go tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we've seen a lot of low-scoring Game 7s over the years. Is there any extra message about patience to your players and to be okay with a game like that?
Yeah. I mean, I go from experience. I know I was just an assistant coach, but when I remember beating Nashville 1-0 with Patrick Hornqvist scoring the last minute of a game for us to win the Stanley Cup, to me, that was the perfect game. Even Nashville, we played them, but our demeanor and we just played the game. I mean, it's probably one of the best games I've watched. I know maybe not the other people. It's 1-0, but it's a page out of the. You play the game, you play it hard, but don't force things. I think sometimes when it's tight. Or the other team scores early. What happens? You get antsy, and then somebody runs out of position. So I think you got it from my past experience. Is it's okay to play a neutral game for a while, but that doesn't mean you back off. I'm just saying you be smart aggressively. But I think you learn from those things, and hopefully we rely on some veterans and some of our better our best players to kind of lead the charge in that. That's really important.